charge for. And I think that gives you a lot of credibility and trust with people. And, and I got to share this, two things I want to share real quick. Claude's talking. Yesterday, I got my Google sends me a check every month. I got a monster check from Google AdSense yesterday. Because I did a lot of videos, in November. Yeah. I challenged myself to do a video for every day. You've done stuff like that too. Yeah. And, I've been doing this for years, and they send a nice check and they send me a little notification and go, boom, goes right in the bank account. So here's my point. Not only do I get paid for marketing, whereas my competition spends money for marketing.
Yeah.
But I get quality, warm leads.
Okay. You'll get people calling you from videos from 10 years ago.
It's evergreen. It's so true.
Yeah. I have one video I did with Joe McCall or something. I think we had 250,000 hits now. There's a whole business inside of YouTube. If you look at some of the super, there's some people who have millions of followers. Can you imagine the checks they get every month?
Wow. I know. I can imagine it, because I'm getting a check too. And I'm like, ooh, how can I make this 10X?
Can I share my screen for?
Oh yeah. Go for it.
For 10 seconds. I don't know if this popped up.
Yeah, it popped up. We're looking at G.U.T.S marketing.
I'm working on this. This is a whole book or a package, or I don't know what it's going to be, but it's something I'm working on. I always start with the book cover, because I think you can tell a book by its cover, and I basically, I believe in this type of marketing because it works so well for me. I wouldn't be being so repetitive, but consistently putting out content, as you said, Justin, it just brings in warm leads. It attracts a great audience, quality prospects instead of waste. I mean, there's many different ways to do marketing. I'd rather attract warm leads than spend time and money on cold leads.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I mean, it's just subjective. I mean, they both work. Yeah. I'm just lazier than my competition.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Bad lazy.
Yeah.
And 80% of your time needs to be, this is what Claude teaches us. This is what any sales trainer that knows will say that 80% of your time needs to be talking to these good quality prospects. If you spend 80% of your time firing all these people, and then just 20% of your time talking to people that actually could buy, you're not doing the right stuff. Right? So I feel like the evergreen, like my most popular video on my YouTube channel this month is a video I made like 3 years ago. Wow. You know what I mean? It's like, that's still serving me today. And people I'm still selling today off of that. It's a snowball like I've never experienced, Claude. And I cannot thank you enough for teaching me this.
We had that meeting.
Whoops.
I'm sorry.
I think you want to hear the truth.
I was just pulling up my page here for a second.
I'm the author of the Guts.
I remember you and I had a meeting, was it 2 or 3 years ago? And I said, just focus on doing these little short YouTube videos. And you did it. You followed my advice.
Yeah.
And tell everybody how your business has grown in the last 36 months.
Well, it's been really good, because when I first started out, when I called Claude the first time, I had about 6, I think, subscribing people or so to my coaching. Okay. I was endeavoring to be a coach in real estate, and I wasn't doing very hot at it. And I was only charging $25 a month. Okay. And so you can imagine, I was just looking to get out there and be a coach. Okay. I'll just, whatever, $25, I'll be your coach. How crazy, but I was really wanting this. Right. So I was pursuing it, and I felt like I was achieving something because I was actually doing the work, but I wasn't making any money. and I wasn't.
How happy is Mrs. Chamness now?
She's very happy. Very happy. Yeah. And so, actually in the first 30 days after signing up with Claude, I signed up, I believe 5 in that first month. So I doubled in my first month, except I wasn't charging $25 anymore. I was charging like $2,500. Okay. Well, it's gotten so good that like in the last 12 months, I shared this a few weeks ago, but in the last 12 months, I've closed coaching clients on some level, not all one-on-one full 2,500 package. There's been some that are like, some lower package. I've closed 143 new clients in the last 12 months. Oh, I love Guts. I love Claude. You can't tell me nothing bad about Claude because I don't believe it.
Let's give him a round. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
you want to see what Christmas should look like?
Yeah, I do.
Snow in Colorado.
Oh, we had a blizzard this morning. Oh my God. It's still 60-mile-an-hour winds out here.
Oh, beautiful. Wow.
Wow.
Let's go skiing.
That's beautiful. Yeah. That is beautiful.
You can barely see the mountain. We're at 10,000 feet, and those mountains back there, they're at 12,000, and my driveway still hasn't been plowed. We're literally stuck here.
Where's the blizzard?
It was a whiteout. We even got the emergency thing on the iPhone.
Oh yeah.
Hey, don't go outside.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's fun. If you don't like weather, the Colorado's not the place to live.
Oh yeah. It looks beautiful every time you show it to us there, Claude, but
oh yeah.
Something special about the wintertime snow, huh?
It's
magical.
It's nice at Christmas time to just go outside, tubing. You go tubing or sleigh riding or cross country skiing or something like that. It's just fun. You live in long underwear.
Oh yeah.
You should take a picture of that. That'll be your next Christmas season card. You can just have them printed up.
Here's my next season card here.
Yeah, that's
beautiful.
So Justin, if I add up 143 times 2,500, that's almost $3.5 million. Do you have a good tax? Do you got a good tax advisor? You got some good shelters? Or you gonna be giving a lot of money to Uncle Sam? I mean, what do you got there, buddy?
I wish it was that, but no, it's not all the 2,500. So I have now, because I've developed out my business a little bit, I have other packages that cost less. So out of all package sales, 143 closing, but it's not all just one type of package. So there's a lot of folks that bought the low package,
Talk about the passive income to Steve and everyone else.
Oh yeah, that's incredibly great. You'll never get over that. I mean, if you start creating passive income for yourself in real estate or in consultation, which is really what I actually got the idea by going to I was really down on my luck one time in the real estate business, and I went to an REI club meeting here in town. You guys know what I mean by REI club? Like there was about 500-600 people there. Most of them were realtors and landlords, I think. And I felt really, I felt like I sat in the back row. That's what I felt like. And this lady got up and she was talking. And she said, some of you just need to start coaching other people. That'll be the answer for you. That'll help you in your business. And it was like a light shone out of heaven, like the Blues Brothers movie. And it, like it was like I'm on a mission from God, I just had a moment, and I realized that that's what I wanted to do is I wanted to get better at real estate by helping other people get better at it too. And it's really worked for me. So now not only am I way better at real estate now than I was 4 years ago or 3, and not only that, but now I have a side business too. So it's really, really great. And Guts works for both. That's the beauty of it all. So I don't have to, I really don't have to change hats. I just take my tools and I go, this business, I take my tools and I go to that business. It's perfect. And but anyway, I don't want to talk more about myself all the time, but I do highly recommend, I will say this, if you'll start the daily attraction marketing like what Uncle Claude instructs us, give yourself 2 years, you will never regret it. That's like a promise. Okay. I promise you that. If your experience is anything like anyone I've ever known that's done it, yeah. Yeah. So, all right, let's role play, guys. Sorry about the whole non-role play part today. Maybe you got something out of that. Hopefully you got something good out of it.
Yeah.
All right. So hopefully I'll see you on social media. All right. And I'll like and subscribe to you and your channel. Okay.
Can I show something again real quick here?
Yeah,
I
sure.
I just found a screen here just to give you guys just a quick view. Can you see the, go away. Can you see the views there?
Yeah. Yeah. That's great.
54,000, 51,000, 46,000, 44,000, 30,000, 30,000. This goes on and on and on and on for years and years. And that's people coming to you who are, and if you can get them, give them something for free or get them to your web page or make them subscribe. Man, that's the best lead you'll ever have.
Yeah. Let me put it in perspective by showing you the newbie guy. Okay. I don't want to show you, but that you just saw Claude. He's been doing it for a number of years. I've been doing it for, like I said, like really faithfully, like this 2-3 years. My biggest video this month, I think, had 185 views. Not 275,000, 185. Okay. But remember, I'm doing that every day. Some days I get 35 views. Some days I get 95 views. Some days I get 186 views. My biggest all-time video of all time has only had like 8,000 views. But I still was able to get 143 new customers. So don't think, oh, well, I can't hit 250,000 views like Claude has on some of those videos. So this won't work for me. But that's baloney. That's a cop-out, because actually it takes these small little niche channels like you talking about your insurance business or your real estate business or whatever it is your business is. Your customers are there watching, man. I mean, you'll never regret it. I promise you. So
it's quality over quantity. Okay. Would you rather do 10,000 emailed cold blasts to people who don't know who you are with a 99% rejection rate, or get 36 people today who came to you, who maybe you could follow up with, send them something for free, get brand loyalty from them? 30. I'd rather have 5 warm prospects than 10,000 cold maybes.
Oh yeah, me too. Because I'm going to sell those 5 and then I'm going to go skiing with Claude.
Hey,
And I think that's the problem with a lot of sales gigs that I've been in, is I spent the majority of my time using a sales script, a sales methodology that didn't allow me to disqualify my prospect. It made me sit in the saddle until the very bloody end. And I did this all day long, all the way till I was burned out and had to change agencies or something. Okay. That's how the sales game has worked. Unless you bring your own skill set to the table, usually you have to train yourself outside the sales agency, wherever you work or whatever business you're in. You have to teach yourself. And I think one thing we've noticed here recently in some of our discussions on Wednesdays is that there are different types of sales methodologies taught out there. And what we have here in the G.U.T.S method is an emotional sales method. Okay. It's not one of these loop or straight line or any of that. It's a emotional. And so how do we then get to the emotions? And we've talked about this. It's questions, right? Questions is how so we might say that the G.U.T.S sales methodology is a question based. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it's important then that we have some questions in mind when we're talking to a prospect. Is that far-fetched then? I think that's only logical, right? So having questions in mind for the prospect, maybe even before the conversation begins, because you know your business well. You know what your objective is. Let me say it like this, you know where you want the conversation to end before the conversation even began, right? Okay, so since we're not going to be distracted by all these other sales methodologies like the straight line and the loops and the whatevers they are, since we're an emotional sales methodology here in G.U.T.S and we're question based, we have to become great at asking questions. Is that right? Yeah. So I have a rule for the students that work with me and my I was going to say my little club, but it's not really little anymore. Thank you. But yeah, here's a rule that I have for them. When we're practicing role playing, I want you to ask only questions. If you're going to say anything that's not a question, it better not take more than 30 seconds. I think those are good rules to practice by. So let's open up the floor here and let's role play some things with some prospects. You got prospects in your business. You have homeowners. If you're in the real estate business, you have tenant buyers, or you have cash buyers or retail buyers. If you're a realtor. So let's work through, because G.U.T.S is an emotional sales method. It can be used in any type of situation, right? You could even negotiate what you want for dinner tonight with your favorite loved one, maybe. No? Okay. Claude said no, don't use it for that. All right. I'm really loving the idea too of, you guys know G.U.T.S. You guys got G.U.T.S 2.0. Okay. And then now there's coming out G.U.T.S 3.0. So we're real stoked about that. Why don't you tell us about that too real quick, Claude?
G.U.T.S 2.0 is about utilizing emotions, understanding empathy, the psychology of the prospect, what they're thinking, what they're feeling, and dealing with it honestly and upfront. And it's utilizing questions, as you just said, questions blended with stroking and nurturing. That's a really interesting question you just brought. Why did you bring that up, Mr. Prospect? Could you help me share that with me? You mind if I take notes? This is really good. This helps me to help you. Boom. You know, you're changing the whole dynamic of persuasion, influence, selling in 2.0. 3.0 which is going to come out next year also with marketing. 3.0 is about, I'm a student of suggestion. I might use a scary word, hypnotherapy, hypnosis, which scares. It's kind of a scary word to people. There are people like me. I'm very honest about myself. You know, Claudia talks about, hey, let's have grilled cheese sandwiches for dinner tonight. Man, what am I thinking about all day long? Because I'm an intermittent faster. I only have one meal a day, and I love her grilled cheese sandwiches. Okay, and they're crunchy. Oh man, so good. Yeah. And boom, is anybody else thinking about a really nice melted cheese sandwich right now?
Some tomato basil soup, some tomato basil with it, and all that.
Oh God, yes. So a little bit of kosher ham on it too, maybe, or Taylor ham, and some really nice rye bread toasted, and oh gosh, and a glass of nice Pinot Noir on the side. Okay. What am I? Food is easy to do, by the way, when you're talking about suggestion. Yeah. And there's a man named Milton Erickson, and I studied him intensely. And he's the father of what we call conversational hypnosis. It goes by stealth hypnosis, covert. A person who has a master who studies communication and uses the right words and the right questions too, can actually put an idea in someone's head and get it right into their subconscious. Mm-hmm. This is very powerful in persuasion. You guys know I use the word imagine a lot. It's a form of storytelling or placing ideas in people's heads. And a lot of times I'll go, can you imagine, sir? And it's okay to say no to me, which is a G.U.T.S move, you guys know, to reduce the stress and everything. Can you imagine that we do this real estate deal, we buy the home, we sell the home, it generates income. The same way we do it with the grilled cheese sandwich. And nobody is teaching this. And this is the next evolutionary step, in my opinion, of the power of suggestion in sales. I'm sorry, I went way too long on that.
No.
But I'm working and I've been utilizing this, but now I want to put it into a format so other people could study it.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that. I don't tell anybody this because it's not something I'm particularly proud of, but I've taken classes and courses in neuro-linguistic programming and hypnosis even. Now I dropped out before I became anything, but I do remember quite a bit from a lot of those. And I've tried personally as a salesman to take what I learned there and make application. I found it difficult. So I cannot express how much I'm really excited about G.U.T.S 3.0 because I know you're going to dial it down into some practical things that we need to understand and how we apply them. So, man, when's it coming out? I think what you sent out said 2023, and I was like, baby, we got to wait until 2023.
Now, it'll come out. I'll make a commitment. It'll be out in 2022. I just don't want to give a specific date on it, but it's persuading people is the $1 million skill. Sales is the $1 million skill. You can get so sidetracked in all the other things, but when it comes down to it, how do you make money? You were talking about, you talk to people, you communicate, you put out videos, you do group calls live, like right now, this is live streaming. You're putting out content to people, you're putting ideas in their head. This is a form of suggestion. And there are people like me, okay, who are highly receptive to suggestion. You go to me about the latest, a new application on the iPhone, man, I'm going to go right to it. Okay. I'm going to put everything out. I'm so easily receptive to suggestions if someone phrases it the right way. Is anybody else like that here? Anybody here? Really? I am.
I think it's a human thing. Yeah.
It's a human thing, but for me, you put it in my head, it rolls around like the bad song. And I got to check this out. It's been on my mind all day long. Let me Google this. Let me research it. Let me go to the supermarket and buy grilled cheese, okay, or whatever. I'm that receptive to that suggestion. Some people more than others. And can you imagine if we could incorporate that power, that communication skill into just one-on-one communication?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm excited about
it. Do you think you have an edge over your competition when you understand these different means of persuasion, influence?
Yeah.
I think it's huge. You study great, very successful business people and politicians and many different scenarios. They have a great skill of communication.
Yeah.
And they're utilizing for different forms of hypnotherapy, of suggestion. And I'm not talking about turning people into chickens on a stage. That's another form of it. But what we want to do is get people so they get relaxed, they trust us, and we put images in their head that make them get so emotional. And then we give them the formal or the more intellectual presentation, because it's got to make sense. You can get somebody emotional and get them up the yes ladder, but it's got to make sense to them.
Yeah.
And that's and so you win them slowly from emotional over to the intellectual academic side. Yeah. And you will and then you get that firm post-sell commitment in the third step, commitment to close. And you've got a good prospect in maybe one phone call. Now, who teaches that, Justin?
That's right. Well, not very many people, just you and me, I think.
And this is what's missing, because so many people are spending so much money on marketing and running around and applications and everything. When it comes down to it, how do you really make money in business?
Talking to qualified prospects.
Yeah. Can I have an amen? Can I have an amen from the choir?
Amen, David. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah. Amen.
Well, let's role play. I was going to open it up to everybody that I just keep talking. All right. So, what's a good role play anybody has? What would you bring for us today? Somebody's got prospects in their business, right? Hopefully all of us. And some of them might be difficult for us to close. How do we get how do we get into a role play about your business right now? Somebody tell me. How can we help you? Anybody got anything they want to work on? We have the guru here. He hates it when people call him guru, but Claude, he's the best. So, and we've got a lot of people with a lot of experience in this room. So what might be a role play that we can help you with? What are you struggling with on the phone or with your prospects? Anyone? Yeah, Ben, what you got?
What I've got is buyers who are clients, rather, calls that I'm making. People are really frightened by the instability of the market, so they're resistant to pulling the trigger on what is a pretty well, it's got a no loss guarantee that can't lose. You're basically just moving your money from one spot to another.
So are we talking about private lender type scenario?
I sell investment coins, very high grade numismatic coins.
Okay.
And they literally come with a money back
I
guarantee.
see.
It will never be worth less than what you paid for it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Like, well, I don't know what's going on with precious metals. Really, the markets are nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me ask you a question. When this happens in the conversation, is the prospect completely aware of this money back guarantee before the conversation begins? Or have they seen it in writing? Okay, so in my opinion, I would keep it as a silver bullet. Okay, that's kind of what I think of it as. Keep it as a silver bullet. Now, you get to the end, if he's a qualified prospect, you go into a closing situation with him. He says, yeah, I like it, but, here's the thing. I don't know much about the market. I don't know if it's going to go up or go down. Now you do something like this. Well, Mr. Coin Man or Coin Buyer, Mr. Coin Buyer, here's the thing. I totally understand where you're coming from. You're a smart guy, and you kind of remind me of myself, and I'd be asking the same questions, because the last thing you want to do is lose money. Is that right? Oh yeah, that's exactly right. Well, if there was a way that I could, make it where it was guaranteed, it would never be worth less than what you pay for it. Would that solve the problem? And could we move forward with this today? Something that, this is kind of the quick layout of it right there, but you can see how a silver bullet, I always, as a salesperson, like to have a silver bullet. Now, you might have 6 major benefits in your 6-shooter, but you got that one silver bullet in your back pocket. Now, it may not be that. It may be another silver bullet that you have that's greater than that one, but that's what I call the silver bullet philosophy, and it seems to work for me. Now, because part of guts is not giving it all away. Right? Can we say that? I think that's accurate. Part of guts is just not giving it all away right up front, because that puts you in a position of weakness and beggarly for the close. Okay. So having some kind of silver bullet guarantee or a silver bullet bonus or a silver bullet, hey, whatever it might be for your business, that's wonderful. I use it in the homeowner business all the time. Mr. Homeowner, I understand your intrepidations about doing business with me and me putting somebody in there that you don't know. Okay. Because we've never met. You sound like a smart guy, and that's exactly what I'd be thinking too. So I don't think that's a horrible question. Matter of fact, I like the question, sir, and I'm glad you asked it. So here, how about this? Let me think for a second. Let me think while I rummage through my pockets for my silver bullet, because I got one.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Now I'm going to pull that silver. Now, Mr. Homeowner, how about this? If I were to put you in the driver's seat and I was allow you to kind of, give approval or disapproval and these people that, if I even let you meet them, and you're kind of in the driver's seat on that, and you can approve or disapprove. Is that something that makes you feel more comfortable? And could we go ahead and move forward today? What am I asking for? Really, all I'm asking for is a cooperative lease option or a lease purchase. Cooperative lease. I'm asking them to, hey, if I let you cooperate, well, can we? That's my silver bullet.
Yeah.
You would not believe how that makes them feel so comfortable. And now often they're ready to do business because after all, now I'm in the driver's seat, whatever that means.
Right.
Okay. So having
Nice.
that silver bullet, totally valuable. Let me ask you, Ben, do you think there's another silver bullet besides that one that you have maybe that would be better than that?
I'd say runner up is, proven history of that they go up in value over time. There are auction prices realized that
Yeah.
show very
Okay.
similar coins
Great.
to
So,
perform.
yeah. So, Mr. Coin Buyer, here's the thing. I understand your concerns. I would feel the same way. You're a smart guy, and only smart people ask questions like that. And so here's what I could say. If I were to show you the proven track history of this thing, so you feel like you have a good bead on it and you're educated on where it's been, maybe help you understand where it is today and where it might go, would that make you feel more comfortable, and could we go ahead and do business today?
Yes, it would.
Okay, if you said no, I might say, why? Why not? Okay, I still have another silver bullet. Wait, I got this guarantee. It'll never be worth less than it is now.
Yeah.
Okay. You see how G.U.T.S works? I love G.U.T.S because it's so beautiful to work. And I've never sold coins before in my life.
Yeah.
Never, not
Right.
one day, but here I am. It fits perfectly.
For sure. For sure.
So it's beautiful. Anyway, I know I've been big on building that up today. Claude and G.U.T.S needs no build up, but I do truly I'm grateful. So, does anybody else have any suggestions for Ben in this particular scenario or role play where you have a coin buyer and he doesn't want to move forward today because he's unsure of the market. He doesn't know if he understands it even fully. And, I need to think about it is really what it sounds like he's saying. I need to think about it.
Yeah, I got some for Ben. So Ben, let me ask you this question as far as with inflation. Okay,
Right.
so what have you noticed when someone actually buys these coins? What happens when they buy it in an inflationary time? Will those coins normally go up? That's something I would probably hit them with. This is what I've seen in inflation over the years because of that boom. I mean, what do you think, Ben? I mean, does it normally go up during the inflationary times?
Not only do they normally go up, but during a what storm, they take less of a butt kicking than any other tangible asset.
So I'd be focusing on that maybe right up in front with your clients. Hit them with that question right away to get them engaged with you. It's probably what I would probably start with. And then you go from there.
Nice. Appreciate that.
You're looking for something real volatile, right, Mr. Prospect? I mean, you seem to me like a high risk kind of guy. Like you're comfortable with really risky investments. Oh, you're not? Oh, no, you're not. You're totally not. You're risk adverse. Okay, well, so you're telling me that you would be interested in buying something that would be kind of like stable and safe? Is that what you're saying? I'm drawing out what now we're talking about more in the qualification step, but what we're getting to is really his motivation for the call to begin with and what he would be willing to buy today. He's describing the coin.
Yeah.
How interesting.
Yeah.
I think it could be said about G.U.T.S that G.U.T.S finds out what the prospect wants and then gives it to them.
Agreed. Could we say that it would be a good practice to line up one's bullets or chamber one's bullets and then start with some emotional questions?
Yeah. I feel like I feel like you don't even unleash your, in this metaphor, which is probably a poor metaphor for today's society, but in the metaphor of a silver bullet and a 6-shooter, you're not even going to pull the trigger until you get past the agenda and the qualification steps.
Okay.
Why do we need to talk about benefits or any of that I could do for you until I know you're a qualified prospect willing to buy today? I'm telling you, this is something we really mess up a lot in as far as people like me learning the G.U.T.S program is we want to go ahead and start pulling the trigger anyway. No. No, that's the opposite thing to do. All right. You want to keep it all holstered up until the closing stage. And they might not even make it there.
Yeah.
Right. So in other words, I've shown this before. This is not something that Claude even sanctioned. I just did. It's like one of those things where it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is for
Permission.
But I just basically took this from Claude and I just wrote it. I just made it here in big, bold categories. Instead of a staircase of steps, it's just 3 rows or 3 columns here.
Yeah.
And so, this closing stage is set apart from the other 2 stages, the agenda and qualification, those steps, because you should be deciding whether or not this person is worthy of a pitch.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not worthy of a pitch, why are you pitching?
Yeah. That's a great tool. You shared that with me a while back. So
Well,
anybody
thank
doesn't
you.
have
I wish I could say that, I thought of all of that, but I didn't. I just took it from Claude. I think Claude probably invented that on a bar napkin or something.
Yeah.
Is that right? Is that what you did, Claude? There it is.
That is the original bar napkin. I'm gonna get it framed one of these days. It's
For
starting
sure.
to age. In fact, it's pretty
For sure.
old.
Yeah.
Just happen to have it on me.
That's super good. That's a great story. Well, let me challenge you as you go into the new end of the year here in the new year. I know sales isn't over for the year by any means, but as we wrap up the year and we go into the new year, make a challenge for yourself that you'll not pitch to anyone. You're not going to pull the trigger. You know what I see guys doing? My one-on-one students and stuff. A lot of times they're pulling the silver bullet trigger on
Yeah.
people that shouldn't even have been in the closing stage with. And they're already shooting silver bullets and everything. That's not how you kill werewolves, right? You don't do it like
Right.
that. You don't just shoot them willy-nilly, right? You got to get them with the silver bullet in the full moon light, So, nevertheless, silver bullets are expensive. Don't waste them. That's probably along with the metaphor. I wanted to talk about that today too. I'm glad it came up. Do not continue to try to close people who are not going to be closed. Okay. And that, before you even try that this is over. Why
Mhm.
not just tell them that? Maybe telling them that would shock them out of that posture. Who knows? This sounds like it's over. Have you ever heard Claude say that?
Oh yeah.
This sounds like it's over.
I had a guy yesterday. I couldn't close him. It was a lot of different issues. And I said, "Sir, did you just hear that?" He said, "No, what? What are you talking about?" I said, that was your success. It just went out the window. Did you just hear that?
Yeah.
So what did he do? Did he sign up?
No, actually, it's kind of funny. This was the other day, and he set a new appointment with me today. But that's a good topic, actually. So someone, you can't close them. They have they don't have permission. They've got, it's money issues and everything else. But then they call you back in 2 or 3 days because you did such a good job putting those ideas, what we were talking about earlier, in their head, and they call you back. What's the first thing you should do when you call them back, when they call you back? Give your presentation again, go through all the questions again.
Well,
You've already had go ahead.
I think first find out why they decided not to go with it. Is it because of money? If it's money, I might want to bring that up if that was the case. I don't know. You got to find out where they were at.
Yeah, role play real quick. Steve, yesterday, I'm glad we're speaking again. I really enjoyed our conversation the other day, but you and I couldn't make a commitment because you said your wife's mad at you. You're moving in January and money is, you're not budgeted for the money right now. Has any of those things changed so we can move forward today?
It's still kind of like that way a little bit, Claude. I might have a little bit of money coming here in the next day or two, but I don't know. What does your plan go for?
Well, we discussed that all the other day,
Oh.
Steve, and I'm sorry, I'm so busy. I have so
Right.
many people calling me like you do who have the same problem you do.
Right.
And we kind of went over that, and I got the
All right.
feeling that the answer was no, because you
Right.
told me your wife would be mad at you. You're moving 1,000 miles away, and why are we talking today, Steve? What would you like to see happen today?
Well, is there any way we can throw a little discount in there? Maybe I can see if I can talk to my wife about it, or maybe I can make that decision today if there's a little bit
No,
incentive. So you're pretty well firm on your.
In fact, I'm thinking of raising the price right now.
Okay. Yeah. So it looks like it's probably over then, isn't it?
I think it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay.
Well, listen, you have a nice holiday, a nice Christmas, and
Can I maybe call you back in another 30 days in case something changes?
I'd rather you didn't. I think it's
Okay.
over, Steve.
Okay.
I say, you know what? I only like to make offers like this once.
But I heard such great things about you and your company and how you
Well, I
operate.
appreciate that. That's so nice of you.
All your
Thank you.
history.
Oh, it's
You're
really
welcome.
nice. Thank you. You're really making me feel good. Is there any way you and I could do business right now, though, before I get off the phone? Because I'm never going to make this offer again. I'm not trying to press you. It's just that I don't go back and forth and back and forth. It's just not. You came to me with a problem. I offered you a solution. Let me ask you this. If there was something we could do maybe with the money I can't change my price, but maybe I could adjust my financing. That wouldn't make a difference for today, would it?
Let's talk. What do you got? I mean, how would you adjust it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just throwing this out here. I almost regret saying it. I'd love to do business with you. The other day when we were speaking, I made a decision. You're the kind of customer I love working with. Is there any way financially you can make a commitment today if I was willing to finance this?
Well, you did say it was 5,000 total.
Yeah.
That you wanted the money up front.
Yes.
Possibly.
Okay, Felipe, take over. Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's get Felipe in here.
Okay. Wait.
Felipe, take over.
What's up, Felipe? Good to see you, bud.
Good to see you guys. Good
Go,
to see you. I
buddy.
miss you all. So you said possibly.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah.
Ooh,
Is that a good
means-
word?
It's a
Is
dirty
that a
word.
good word? Okay.
Possibly yes, possibly no. Help me out here.
I would say possibly yes.
A lot of possiblies.
A lot of I'm hearing a lot of possibly, sir. So, but and by the way, it's perfectly okay to say no. If
I'm
if don't
kind
wanna
of
work together.
I'm kind of wishy-washy, so that's why I get that way sometimes. But I'll try to
Yeah.
stay focused right now. But go ahead.
Wait
did
a
you hear
minute.
what
I have a call on hold, and actually, that's your success that just called and it's just going off the line. It just
Okay.
went.
So went out
No,
the
but-
door.
It went out
Okay.
the door. And
How about-
sir, aren't you sick of this? Aren't you tired of all this mediocrity? Do you want 2022 to be just like 2021? Do you want to be a 60-year-old guy who's eating dog food, or do you want to be a winner?
Well, I'm 62, but I'm still a
Make a-
winner. But go ahead.
Make a decision, sir. Make a decision.
Okay.
You're a smart man.
All right. So did you hear? So it's $5,000. Okay. Are you able to budge on that at all? Or are we pretty well firm on 5?
Oh my God, you're such a good negotiator. But let me ask you this: if I don't change my price, just out of fairness of all my students, but let's suppose I'm already hating myself for saying this, but let's say I was open to be flexible on the terms. How
Okay.
much can you? Yes. How much
What
can
if-
you reasonably put down today? Make me an
You say-
offer.
You say open. How open would you be?
I mean, sir, we're going around in circles. If I was flexible with my terms, I'm not gonna change my price.
Okay.
What would you say to me next?
Okay, so 5,000. If I was to maybe possibly, well, if I was to put
that option
Okay.
went off.
So you want the
door.
whole thing. You want the whole enchilada.
Yes, and I have. Here's your success. You got that lottery ticket, and you're about to put it on the shredder. Because I'm actually going to talk to 10 other successful investors today.
Okay.
Somebody's going to make a decision. I only have a spot for one more student in Q1 2022. The
Okay.
question is, Steve, is that person going to be you?
Do you take credit cards?
Go ahead, I'm ready.
Okay. Da-da-da-da. Good job.
It's like putting your
Good job, Felipe.
it's like putting your head in a shredder.
That was great.
In reality, I'm a lot nicer than that, guys.
Right,
But just sometimes when you get a guy on the line,
Right.
and the conversation is not going anywhere, and guys, Claude has a rule: you close a person in one phone call, maybe
Right.
two, never three. You know that after this phone call, this person, if you decide to give him more time,
Great point.
if you decide to give him more time, and the result is still the same, whose fault is that?
Yours.
That's a super good point he
Right.
makes, because this role play was the second call. So we're not going into overtime. Right? That's the fourth quarter right there. No third appointments allowed unless I'm picking up a check.
Well, I think Felipe and Claude, today, I want to get something done today, not tomorrow, today. I think that's really the critical part. Once we have those power moves like Felipe did, Claude did, and once we use those every day, hey man, today, not tomorrow, today. I want the appointment today, not tomorrow. And just give people strokes and thank them, and once you start using those, once you develop your power moves, 2 or 3 good power moves, gut power moves, kind of like a good baseball pitcher. A good baseball pitcher, he's got 2 or 3 good pitches, but the dude's making $250 million. So if they can make all that money by some good power moves, we can too if we just practice those. I listen to Felipe. I've heard him quite a bit. Great power moves. I know Claude too. But I like it today. It's very important to get it done today.
Yeah.
There's nothing better. Nothing better than send him a video today or whatever.
The Japanese say that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best time is today. And it's just, like, why are we gonna wait? And by the way, it's when we actually have a very transparent communication with the seller or with the prospect, and we just tell them, by the way, it's perfectly okay to say no to me, because we're not the best fit for everybody.
Yeah,
that's totally fine. But the problem's still there.
Yeah.
And then once you say a time, let's say I need it back by 4:30. Do me a favor. And they say, and at 4:31, it's over. I mean, I'm not coming back. At 4:31, it's over. I got 10 other people I'm going to be talking to. It's it. It's done. So I use that whenever I send people a proposal. I'll send them like a little video of myself saying, hey, it's okay to say no. At 4:31, it's over. I got 4 other people I'm talking to. I'd probably been about 95% of getting my contract signed. I redo everything by saying, okay, great. Here's the time. Here's the date. 4:31, it's over. And
Right.
you do it in a nice way, a gentle way, a kind way, but you're firm, you're confident.
Right.
You're like, likability and trust,
Right.
So
and
all
by
those
the way, if you
techniques-
don't call me by 4:30 this afternoon, that's okay. I wish you the best. I'll send you actually a little gift in the mail.
Right.
And I wish you the best.
Right.
That says so much. Do you ever hear a salesperson actually reject the prospect and sound so strong and confident? What do you think goes through the prospect's mind when a salesman sounds like Felipe just demonstrated? Wow, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm missing an opportunity here. Maybe I'll never get this offer again. This guy doesn't care whether he does business with me. He's so successful. So many other people want his house, his course, his insurance policy, his Bitcoin. I think when you send a message of confidence and strength to the prospect, as opposed to, what does your competition sound like?
Beggars.
You're the little dog at the table for scraps. And the prospect goes, oh, I can call this guy in. But when the salesman sounds that strong and that confident, I think that's a powerful way to communicate with someone.
And that bold, you want to be very bold on the phone too, in a gentle way, but be very bold so they know this guy's done this stuff before.
Yeah.
He's good. And if you can portray that to your customers, you got a great chance of getting them closed that day.
And you're still putting in that nurture.
Sure. Yeah.
You say, hey, look, I love talking to you. You know, this is so great. I'm glad we had this, and this nurturing to them, but you're still rejecting them and showing confidence. Do you see these combination, this hybrid of all these social proofs, scarcity, nurturing, putting this all together, how powerful this mix is?
It's powerful. It's powerful because in every sales conversation, the person that has the most emotional control wins. There's just that's just the way it works. And like Claude says, his mentor taught him, if you're feeling the pressure, it means you're doing something wrong. It is the prospect, the one that needs to feel a healthy amount of pressure. And we do that by being nurturing, but at the same time, be ready to walk away at any point. I mean, real story. Like my wife needed to change her car. We went to the dealer, and it was just textbook guts move after guts move after guts move, and we got 6,000 over trade-in value that you would normally get. We got even a deeper discount. The manager was just exhausted at the end of it. And what did we get? We got a car for probably 5,000 to 6,000 less than what we would have paid for.
You make
just
me
didn't
feel
know it.
You make me feel sorry for the car dealership.
Did he offer you a job?
Well, I mean, true story. Claude actually trained a high-end luxury brand dealer just because they just like he did the right thing there.
Yeah, how do you do this stuff? Oh, well, I have a book. Can I give you a free book? Oh, you wouldn't want to speak to our salesman, would you? Boom. You know, you never know where business is gonna come from.
No. That's interesting.
One of the moves that I think Claude teaches us, hey, do you want me to tell you the truth? Do you want to make you feel good about it? I used that one move and I made $70,000 on using that. Was my first move. Do you want me to tell you the truth about this number? Or do you want me to make you feel good about it? Oh, no, tell me the truth. And that one move made me $70,000 because of the move that I practiced. So when I was ready for it, I used it. But it's only because of Claude. Claude taught it, so I just used it. So once you start using these guys every day, and you know when to use it, your success rate is gonna go up higher, a lot higher.
I put that's well said, Steve, and great discussion, everyone. I put that chart that I was showing, the conversation parts, the staircase, but kind of in not a staircase fashion, but just kind of in columns. That chart that I was sharing, I put that here in the Zoom room chat. If you want to download that for your own reference, you can. It may be helpful for you. Here's what I did, okay? Just being a new person into the GUTS concept and sales methodology, you know, there's a lot to take in, a lot to learn.
More like a religion at this point.
Yeah. Well, you know, I started out like kind of feeling like wasn't sure what I was going to say or if it was the right thing. Like, is this guts or is this not guts? You know, so you got those questions when you're first starting, and cause especially if you're bringing a lot of baggage from other sales stuff, you know, which is what I was doing. Well, but anyway, what I did was I had a one-on-one appointment with Claude. I bought the one-on-ones with Claude. I don't know if everybody does that or not, but I assume you did. But yeah, I got into my first one-on-one, and he kind of did a pitch for my business with me, like my business. Like I already bought the coaching, but now we were creating the pitch, what it feels like to talk guts for my business. And so then what I did was I took that chart, something very much similar to it, and then I wrote down a bunch of what he said, right? I literally wrote it down so that I can kind of get a concept in my mind of what it looks like and sounds like to be a gut salesperson. Now that's baby steps. Okay. And that's not a script for you to embrace forever and ever and ever, but it is a way for you to start translating some of this into your mind where it starts to make sense and how it flows, and the staircase and some of these questions that you should be asking, you know, about why they want to buy or sell or what the money situation is. So you kind of get a plan together that way. I really highly recommend that, everyone. You know, kind of take some time and write out your pitch, you know, a little bit. on something like that, so that you can kind of start being a student of the guts. And then you'll find that what you wrote down, it doesn't work for every single conversation, but the formula does. So the questions are interchangeable because the formula is so strong. It's so awesome.
Justin, that's a great point. Because when I first got with Claude, I bought the package and I was taking and all those videos that we were doing together, and I would just write stuff down. I would type it up, and I've got it in my back room when I pray every day. So I write, and I say these for about 15, 20 minutes every day. I go through all the techniques, but I speak it out loud, exactly what you're saying, and so it becomes a part of me. So I'm on the phone with people, it's like, okay, here's what, okay, let's do this, let's try this. You just let it flow. But very important what you're saying, exactly what I do. I first started in April of 2020. So definitely great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I think really what we're talking about is the difference between being a spectator of guts and actually becoming a student of guts. And when you're a student, you study. You're a studious individual. So in order to study, sometimes that means you have to look at it a little deeper. You have to write what you think your pitch is. Write what your why questions are going to be. Well, you think, well, here's some great why questions I'm going to ask. Now, what are you really technically doing? To go back to the metaphors, you're loading you're starting to load your gun and get ready to close somebody when you find a good qualified prospect. But you're not going to be able to do all that probably just in your mind. So that's why I created that little chart, is to help folks kind of start to piece their conversation together. Anyway, it's work, but it's worth it, everybody. Okay. It's worth it to be a student of the process. Okay. Hey, thanks, Claude. Thanks, Felipe, for stopping in. Great seeing you guys. You're always welcome anytime. Anytime I'm the captain of the ship, you're welcome. So come on in. Anybody got any other thing we can talk about, role play, or do before we wrap up and call it a session here? Anything? We've kind of been a smorgasbord. A smorgasbord, is that what's a smorgasbord? It's like a sandwich buffet. Is that right?
Yep.
I don't know.
They get a whole selection. Yeah.
So it's basically like going to Subway. Is Subway a smorgasbord? Somebody's got to Google that. That's what I want to know. Is Subway a smorgasbord? How do you spell smorgasbord? I don't even know. Sorry, everybody. I'm so silly. All right. Anything else we could talk about before I just continue to entertain myself with other things, I guess? Anything? What's everybody doing for Christmas? Are you traveling, or are you staying home?
Staying home.
Working.
Yeah. And lots of storms predicted for tonight, everybody. So batten down the hatches and all that, So get ready, I guess. And our thoughts and prayers are with everybody that you'll stay safe. And I don't know if we're going to be having a session next Wednesday, a role play session, because it'll be Claude. Usually we rotate like that off, alternate. I don't know if he'll be doing it because it's just right before Christmas. And then the Wednesday after is the one right after Christmas. So I don't know. I'm kind of playing it by ear myself, everybody. I'll definitely announce it in the Claude Skype group. And then in my group too. Okay. As I find out. Anything else, guys and gals? Anything? Oh, we don't have any gals today. All right. How boring.
Thanks, Justin. Good job, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey,
Great.
love you guys. Love you. If I don't see you again before the holiday, hey, have yourself a Merry Christmas or a Happy Holiday, and stay safe and love your family, and take a break for goodness sake. Take a little rest, eat a lot, sleep a lot. It'll do you good. All right. I'll see you guys later.
See you.
Bye-bye.